Nobody does overindulgence quite like a Hutt. These plump slugs are the epitome of debauchery. Spice, they deal it and smoke it. Illegal weapons, they have them. Slaves, those are in abundance for Hutts. What's going on, guys? I'm the Walrus Jedi, and thank you to My Hero Academia fan 1999 and Gary Bell for just suggesting this video, which led me to doing a poll to see if more people would like a video on this. Checking out the poll. Should I make a video on the Huttese Slave-Girl Costume? With 52 votes, 90% yes, 10% no. So here we are. Without further ado, let's continue. Slavery was one of the most lucrative businesses the Hutts dealt in. These slime balls considered owning slaves as beneficial to their status. The more a Hutt had, the more prestigious and successful the Hutt was considered by their fellow Hutts. Several of these bloated gastropods had many slaves they considered pets. Humanoid species were usually picked as wearers for the slave girl costume, as Hutts didn't find humanoid species attractive. It was simply a show that the Hutts owned everything their guests desired, showed that they had all the power in bargaining. The use of the slave girl costume was for enslaved, or in some cases employed, female humanoids. There were variations of the costume. Some were worn over trousers or stockings, or just a lasha silk skirt, which a chain could be attached to. The Hutts have been a fan of demeaning humanoid females and forcing them to serve this way for millennia. Shortly after the Mandalorian Wars, 3976 BBY to 3960 BBY, the Jedi exile Mitra Surik was forced to wear such a costume to gain audience with Voga, to negotiate for shipments of fuel for the Telosian Restoration Project. The passion project of Supreme Chancellor Tol Kressa to rejuvenate Telos 4's ecosystem after it had been ravaged by the destructive and deadly Jedi Civil War, 3959 BBY to 3956 BBY. Similar costumes were used for enslaved women in the Sith Empire, 6900 BBY to 5000 BBY, in cantinas like the Slippery Slopes Cantina and Club Euphora on Nar Shaddaa. Some Hutts, like Dredden, and especially Jabba, did find humanoid females attractive. Jabba was fond of these outfits, and unlike others of his species, he found humanoid women attractive. In 32 BBY, there was a green-haired woman in his company when Ki-Adi-Mundi met with him. In the same year, for the Boonta Eve Classic on Tatooine, the Hutt brought Diva Shaliqua, whom he had in his thraldom. Even Zam Wessel utilized the garb to seduce Dredden the Hutt, who the bounty hunter killed and claimed the large bounty on his head. At the palace of Gardulla the Hutt, on the fetid world of Nal Hutta, Ziro was imprisoned for his crimes against his fellow Hutts. 3 Twi'lek chorus girls performed for the ruling council, clad in harness paired with bikini-style bottoms and stockings, with leather wrapped around their legs, and a neck collar. And, to literally crown it all off, they wore feathered headdresses resembling specific Hutts. Of course, the slave-happy Zygarians utilized the garb. They displayed various species, like Twi'leks, in the costume, to their fellows and prospective buyers. More victims of Jabba's lascivious eye were rebel pilots Tia and Gia. They had tried to free Han Solo from Carbonite, but failed. Eventually, the two were freed by Leia disguised as Bausch. Later, Leia herself was forced to don the revealing outfit. To further humiliate Leia, Jabba sent her to Boba Fett's room one night as a gift. But he gave the princess a sheet to cover up, and she offered to pay him if he aided in their escape, but Fett refused, stating the rebellion was immoral as it started the Civil War with the Empire. But she slew Jabba with her slave chain, thus ending the bloated one's crimes. Grappa the Hutt put a bounty on the human Imperial Customs officer, Terrant Snill. Kurikanos, disguised as Kennick's Kill, a bounty hunter brought Terrant Snill and claimed the bounty. To celebrate, a party was thrown, naturally featuring dancers in the revealing clothing. Years later, there was a bar known as Jabba's Throne Room, which was down to the minute details a faithful replica of Jabba's throne room on Tatooine. The waitresses wore similar attire and may have even featured a look-alike Leia in the slave outfit as the main entertainment. As you can see, this costume was used quite a bit, and not just by the Hutts. This was but one tool of the villains that showed their evil. Despite the notorious reputation the Huttese Slave-Girl Costume had, some good was done while this costume was worn. Mitra Surik was able to get fuel for the Talosian restoration project, Zam Wessel took out a scummy Hutt, and of course Leia ended Jabba's reign of greed on Tatooine. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. Do you like the costume? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and until next time, thanks for watching.